Welcome to Alaskan Freedom.
Look what Eleinne got done. This week I had a couple things going on. I was hauling some cutoffs, which we'll show you real quick first. And then we'll go through the process of Eleinne finishing our custom headboard.
DIY headboard.
DIY headboard.
Or abstract headboard.
In 2023, we moved to Alaska to fulfill our dream of a better quality of life. Follow along as we transform our few acres of Alaskan off-grid virgin land into our dream homestead.
We are Jay and Eleinne, and this is Alaskan Freedom.
Okay, so we just posted in our last video how winter's over, and it snowed. I still stand by that. I think winter is over. This isn't unique to Alaska. If you live anywhere where it snows, it's usually very snowy in the spring. I still say winter is over. It's breakup. This light snow, it's supposed to snow lightly on and off for the next 5-6 days, but this is the kind of stuff that's gonna melt and be gone in just a matter of a day or two. As a matter of fact, it's early morning. By afternoon, a lot of this probably will have already melted. Well, what we're going to do right now, you can see here, I have a trailer full of these cutoffs. There is a sawmill local to me that has given me these cutoffs for free. These are what we're going to be using to side the shed with. What our plan is to put up CDX plywood, paint it, and then put these up as a siding over it, kind of give it that little rustic log cabin look. I don't think we'll do this to the cabin. We might if we love it, who knows. But it's at least a free, somewhat free. I still got to pay for the CDX, but CDX plywood is so much cheaper than buying siding. So this is only going to cost me a lot of labor, and we're going to try it out. So I'll show you what we got. In case you're not familiar with sawmill cutoffs or what they are, so when a mill takes an entire tree, they take that big sawmill and they cut off the edges of the tree, this part, because your boards need to be squared, so you got to cut off the round parts. So the cutoffs are all these round on one side, flat on the other side, so that they end up with a big square piece that they then cut into posts and boards and all that. But these pieces they just get rid of. Some places sell them by the truckload. There's places in town that are selling these for as much as you can put on a truck or a trailer. I think they charge like $75, so they're not that much to start with. But the one close to me said I could just take them. They actually burn theirs. And most of these are probably about 12 foot long. My shed is 12 foot wide, so that's going to work out good. But it's going to have a rustic look. I don't mind if they're pieced together. We will come through and try to cut these somewhat straight so that they have kind of a straight look to them. Any gaps that are shown is fine because we're painting dark the plywood behind that. We're painting so that it has kind of a nice look. It almost will look like the chink in between logs in a log cabin. So this is what a cutoff is. I've got a trailer full of these. Those of you that are not familiar with our channel, we park about 100 feet. Our driveway is about 100 feet from our cabin. So I'm going to haul all of these up, one, sometimes two at a time, depending on how heavy they are, and set them in place. It's just cold enough out today. I should be wearing a hat, but I have some nice over-the-ear headphones that I'm going to wear and listen to some music while I get this work done. In case you're wondering, it's Guns N' Roses. It didn't take me as long as I thought. It only took about 40 minutes, so I figured it'd take a little over an hour. It's probably another hour that I spend, or hour and a half, picking through the pieces, getting the ones I want, and then loading them on the trailer. So each load's maybe a couple hours worth of work. I think I'm going to need 3 loads. By my estimations, I need 2, but anybody that's done estimations knows they're never right. So I'm going to do 3 loads. We're going to side the shed with them. So, but that's a project for summer. For now, I'm just gathering these because they burn these in the spring. So I want to get these and get them loaded over here, pick through, get the ones I like, and get them over here before they burn them. So, all right, so that's done now, and we're going to go inside and warm up and have a little coffee. If you are new to the channel, remember, please like and subscribe. That's all we ask for support. If you want to do additional support, that's fine. There's a link in the description where you can buy us a coffee. Main thing is just hitting that thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and also commenting.
I realized that this might not be for everybody's taste,
It's art.
but it's an expression.
I love it. I'll tell you why I love it. Because first of all, usually, for those of you that don't know, this is a Murphy bed. So usually this is folded up and that is hidden. So during the day we don't get to see it. But it's just kind of cool in the evening when we pull the bed down now and it's just like, boom, there's this big, cool art project that my wife did and I get to enjoy it at night. Something that she did with no experience. I get to wake up and look at it and it reminds me that not to be a boring person today, not to be like and live like everybody else does, you know, to live my own life. And that's when I see that, that's what I think of. So that's why I love it.
That's sweet.
And because you made it, I love it.
Oh, thank you. For me, after finishing that, this is not what I expected, how it's gonna look like. For me, after I finish it, it's already everything on the wall, it just started growing in me, you know, little by little.
Yeah,
to put up this
was in the
art.
Almost 1 year we've been building on the property now. This was the first project that Eleinne was in charge and I was the helper. So that was kind of fun too. I got to help her out, but 90% of this was all her sweat and tears. I was only there.
I cried. I teared up.
Sweat and tears is an expression.
Oh,
It didn't mean you
sorry.
actually cried. She's never done any of this before. This was all new. So it was kind of fun. So let's get into how she did it all. And she's going to walk you through each of the steps of how she did it. It was a lot of fun. So enjoy that.
I'm going to show how I did my own DIY headboard. I took a bunch of artboard and taped it all together to come up to the size that I needed. First, I put the idea on my iPad and then I transferred that to an artboard. And then started drawing the idea on the artboard. So after drawing on the artboard, I cut them out into pieces using a utility knife and scissors. These are going to be my template that's going to be traced onto a plywood. You could see here all the sticky notes. I use sticky notes to label which one is front, and then also I numbered them.
Work outside, my hands get cold.
So I used a jigsaw to cut the traced template on the plywood. It took me almost 3 days, spending a couple of hours a day on cutting all these wooden pieces. It's a total of 32 wooden pieces. Some are small, some are so big. That was the hardest part, was cutting the curvatures. I was able to cut them without breaking a blade.
Oh my god.
It's a lot of work.
After everything is cut, I put everything back together and then reassembled them to make sure that I cut them correctly, and then to make sure that they would all fit. And I made sure that when I cut the wood, I made some adjustments of cutting them a little smaller than the template, because I still have to put the fabric and then the foam. So as you can see here, there are few spots. I think this is like 3 spots that didn't have a template, wooden template. Those areas are gonna stay open and exposed in the back, allowing me to move the pieces around to make sure they fit properly. So I never have any experience or background or in any woodworking or upholstery making. So I just watched some few videos, mostly just short videos from YouTube. So the materials that I used in making this upholstery per piece, there's a layer of foam and a cushion wrap, and then on top of it will be fabric. I used foam to give it a plush feel, and then the cushion wrap is to have the edges of my pieces to be rounded, because if you just put a foam and then you put the fabric right away on top, you're gonna be able to feel the sharp edges of the wood. So as you can see here, I cut the foam pieces in the exact size of the piece. So I bought a pneumatic stapler from Amazon. This pneumatic stapler is perfect for this kind of project, and it only cost like around $30 to $40 for the stapler and the staples. So I just got all of my foam from our local Walmart. I bought all of my fabrics from an online store. It's called Covey Fabric, and it was hard for me to decide which fabric I should use because they're kind of like expensive. They're pricey, but there's a clearance section in there, which range like the price per yard ranges from 10 to $20, and it was kind of nice because the original like some yard, some cloth or fabric per yard cost like around 30 to 100 a yard. It just depends on what kind of material you want. I just went to the clearance area, and I spent almost $130, including the shipping fee to get here in Alaska. So we paid $50 for the shipping fee. And the plywood that were used were just our leftover wood or scraps or from our construction. Depending on the size of the piece, but average for 2 hours is 2 to 3 pieces within 2 hours. That's how long it takes for me to do the upholstery. So once I already upholstered every piece, I reassembled it again to make sure that they all still fit together.
The exposed borders on the side.
As you can see here, we stained the inside sides of our Murphy bed with an old navy blue. I painted the back red so if there's any gap exposed, then you wouldn't see any bare wood. Before we put the pieces up, we put a fabric on the wall, on top of the painted wall, and this is the area where there will be no pieces.
And then just kind of go like this, just a little bit.
And then we started gluing up the pieces. To glue these pieces up, we're using a Loctite adhesive glue caulk. But for the fabric, we used 3M spray glue. It was hard for me to do it by myself, so I'm glad that Jay helped me.
Remember which side was up and down?
No.
No.
This one.
I got the moon.
Wait and see.
I got the moon, so you can do what you want to do. Looks good. So now we want to. That should be good. Yep. Let me hold it for a little bit. Yeah.
Hi. That's all I can say.
Was it worth it?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm going to interview. What was the hardest part of this project?
Everything.
Everything?
Cutting. The cutting. Well, it's like everything is just like brand new to me. I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I never I didn't have any expectations when I thought of this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, like probably because the colors that I wanted I didn't really get.
Mm-hmm. So the fabrics weren't available.
The fabrics are expensive, so all the fabrics that I got are in clearance sale.
Mm-hmm.
This is just an experiment, so just
Yeah. Would you do anything different if you did it again?
just more on the color matching.
Yeah. Well, it came out beautiful.
I don't know.
It's unique. Nobody else has one.
So what do you guys think of this artwork?
Yeah, leave us a comment and let us know.
Is it a yay or a nay?
Yeah, just let us know what you think of it. Like again, you can't say anything bad. It's going to hurt our feelings. We don't care. We love it. It's art. It's subjective.
Yes.
And it's going to be part of this cabin now. So Thanks for watching. We built up quite an appetite working on this, and I've got some carne asada marinating in the fridge, so we're gonna grill that now. So
Yum!
thanks for joining us this week.